Koski another solito. Why क्या जी? नहीं आप पढ़ी नहीं लो रहा 1080 60 FPS ஆடைங்க எங்கயா இருக்க நீனு யாரோட வைஃபையா லேப்பா யாரோட வைஃபை வீட்ல வைஃபை போட்டியாயா எப்படி 1080p ல பாக்க ஸ்ட்ரீம் எப்படி இருக்கு நியூ ரவுட்டர் பிஜி அடைங்க மாசம் செம்ம கிளாரிட்டி காடுங்க ஆனியா மாரி இது பண்ண கத்துக்க ப்ரோ ஸ்மூத்தா இருக்கும் ப்ரோ 1080 ல பிஜில ஃப்ரீ நெட் தானே யூஸ் பண்ணு ப்ரோ அவனே மிரளணும் என்னடா இது இப்படி யூஸ் பண்றீங்களேன்னு மிரளணும் அவன் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணு ப்ரோ இது பிஜி எழுத்து முடியும் போனோம் அந்த அளவுக்கு நஷ்டத்துக்குடியா இவ்வளவு நாளா 1 MBPS ஆகும் மோசம் ப்ரோ இழுத்து முடியும் போனோம் அந்த அளவுக்கு நெட் யூஸ் பண்ணும் ப்ரோ தடுக்க முடியாத அளவு மாறியா வாயா ஸ்கேன் வாயா மரமரன்ட்டு வாங்கியா ஸ்ட்ரீம் லேப்ஸ் ஏன் ஒர்க் ஆகல மாப்பிள்ள ஸ்ட்ரீம் லேப்ஸ் Yo Scan, welcome to the stream. Wow, the Streamlabs on the kalayidu bro. Rain cutter. Bro, yalla nedhu sama use bro. Hide application appadi irukku bro.
Stabilize.
Vaya Vishal bro.
Order guide you.
Enga? Enga?
Time to act.
Genji read amnu podu. Genji read amnu podu. Rasa unakku welcome சொல்லுதியா? யோ யா ராசா. எனக்கு வெல்கம் கொடுத்து இது ஃப்ரீடம் வரல அன்டிஃபைனட்னு வருது MOMMYன்னு போடுங்க MOMMY மரமரண்டு வந்து லைக்கை பிடிங்கலாம் தடன்னு வில்லங்கமா இருக்கே வணக்கம் அவனல
Witness the power of the walk. Rain outlines its fate. Here comes the catch.
சாத்தா சுரு
Higher, hands on fire.
Stabilize. This is order.
Busted.
பூரா நாயும் பேட்ச் ஒர்க் தான் என்ன ப்ரோ ஷவர்மா பீஸே தரானுங்க என்னையா ஸ்கேஜி நீ வந்ததும் போற நீ மோசம் நீ எங்கேயா போறீங்க போகாதீங்க போயிட்டு ஸ்கேஜி விஷால் ப்ரோ நீ எங்க போறன்னு தெரியல ப்ரோ நீங்க ஒரே மர்ம தீர சுத்திட்டு இருக்க
Rain cutter, know my sword. Rain outlines your path. Things are about to get dicey.
சரியா இருக்கு
Time to go.
சரி
Gather. I will have order.
Witness the power of the wild.
மேம் வந்து
Know
அப்படியா
my sword.
மேமே நீ கிளி பாயி ஆஹா நீ சாதாரணமான ஆள் இல்ல போல இருக்கே காலேஜ் கண்ட்ரோல் கொண்டு வாயா விஷால் ப்ரோ காலேஜ் கண்ட்ரோல் கொண்டு வாயா என்னையா ஷவர்மா தான் தராங்க என்ஜிஓ மங்கட்டு
Solidify.
இன்னும் 2 இயர்ஸ்ல கண்ட்ரோல் எடுக்கணும்னா நீ சாதாரணமான ஆளா இருக்கு
Here comes the catch. Quietly.
சராமரான ஷாட் நாய்
This is order.
சேனல் பசங்களா
Rain outlines
ஆமாயா
your fate. Busted.
178 ஜெட்ஸா அவ்வளோ வச்சுங்க
I will have order.
நான் எவ்வளோ வச்சிருக்குன்னு சொல்லு பார்ப்போம் உனக்கு என்னப்பா நீ சிங்குவான் எல்லாம் எடுத்துருப்ப
Quietly now.
சிங்குவானா டாங்கியான் எடுத்திருப்ப என்னையா ஃபுல்லாவே தான் தரானுங்க அவ்வளோ ஜேடா அவ்வளோதானா 178 அட கொடுமையே $10K டோட்டல் ஆட்டா நான் 30 தான் வச்சிருக்கேன் 30 சின்ன பண்றதுனால
There are still so many places for us to explore.
Don't tell me they did it again.
நீ பிடி 80 வச்சுக்கிட்டே 10K வச்சிருக்க பிடியே இல்ல இருந்தாலும் 30 வச்சிருக்கேன் மியூசியம் ஈவெண்டா 11 நாள்ல முடியுது
The Temple of Wisdom. I see everything.
This way! Out of my way! Witness the power of the wild, right? Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha.
This may hurt a little.
சராமரான சாவு நாய்க்கு சாரி இது பேர் பிளேட் ஆசீர்வாதம் இல்ல அதான் ஏடிபிடி பிளேட் எடுக்க தான் இவ்வளவு ஆர்ப்பாட்டமா நீங்க என்னையாவது ஷவர்மா செட்டு தரானுங்க சரி டேமேஜ் நீ என்ன ஃப்ரைடேவா தேர்ஸ்டேவா நான் யாருக்கு அடிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன் நான் ஏன் இதை அடிக்கணும் எதுக்கு எம்பளம் அடிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன் பிளேடு பேனர்ல விஷ் பண்ணையா அப்போ கிடைக்கல. அளவு என்ன அடுத்த பேனர் என்ன? அடுத்த பேனர் என்ன? அடுத்து ஃபூஷான் ஜிங்லு போகுது ஜிங்லு. ஐயோ தேவையெல்லாம் எம்பளம் அடிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருந்திருக்கையா. எப்படியா இருந்தாலும் தேவைதான். ஜிங்லு போகுது. அடுத்த பேட்சா? நெக்ஸ்ட் பேட்ச் எனக்கும் எதுக்கு அடிக்கணும்னு தெரியும். அதான் அடுத்த பேட்ச் வரவர்களுக்கு ஒரு 100 விஷயம் சேர்த்துட்டா போதும். வா ப்ரோ கிருஷ்ணமணி ப்ரோ, ரொம்ப நாள் ஆளை காணோம். வா ப்ரோ வா ப்ரோ வா. கிளம்பி நெய்தா.
Make yourselves at home.
A bond is strong. Ring cutter. No, my sword. Game's up. Fun's over. Busted. Stand with me.
பாத்தியா பவர பாத்தியா நெஞ்சோ.
I'll settle this.
எப்படி பவர் இளநீ எடுக்க முடியல ப்ரோ. அதுக்கு ஜீன் கொடுத்துட்டாங்க ப்ரோ. ஜீனா எனக்கும் ஜீன் தான் ப்ரோ கொடுத்தானுங்க. உங்களுக்கு தான் ஜீனு கொடுத்து விஷி சேர்த்து இளநீ எடுத்துட்டேன் நான். ஜீன் இது பண்ணி இந்த இளநீ எடுத்தேன் ப்ரோ. மாசா தடுக்க முடியாது. பன்னெண்டு இன்னும் 8 வேணுமே. இன்னும் 4 வாட்டி அடிக்கணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன ப்ரோ? நெக்ஸ்ட் என்னவா? என்னது ப்ரோ நெக்ஸ்ட் பேனரா? இப்போ வந்து ஜாங்லி பேனர் ஓடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. ஜாங்லி சைல்டு பேனர் ஓடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. அடுத்து இது பேட்ச் வந்து வெண்டி வரும். வெண்டி ஊட்டாவெல்லாம் வரும் ப்ரோ. வெண்டி ஊட்டாவெல்லாம் வருவாங்க. எடுத்துடலாம். எப்படியும் ஊட்டா வெப்பன் எடுக்கலாமான்னு பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன். ஸ்டாஃப் ஆஃப் ஹோமா சைல்டு எப்படி ப்ரோ? சைல்டு மாசு ப்ரோ. ஹைட்ரோ அப்ளிகேஷன் வெறியா இருக்கும். தடுக்க முடியும். ஆனா கூல்டவுன், ஆமா அவனுக்கு கூல்டவுன் வந்து 40 செகண்ட் ப்ரோ கூல்டவுன். அதை நீங்க தான் பாத்துக்கணும். கூல்டவுன் ரொம்ப அதிகம் அவனுக்கு. க்ரோயிங் ஹே வாயா அப்ப எழுதி மஷின் கோயிங் ஹே. பணம் வந்தாதான் அது சொல்லுவோம். நைட்டா தடுக்க முடியாது. போடு மாசு ப்ரோ. அவனும் ஹைட்ரோ தான். எடுத்துருங்க. அடுத்த பேட்ச் வருவான்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நாவலிட்டி தான். என்ஜோ நூலெட் இல்லையா? அப்போ நாவலிட்டி தான். நாவலிட்டி பாவத்தை.
Good eye.
Good eye.
What shall we do?
Start.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
Sarirambu.
Gather. ride.
See?
ஏய் படிக்காச்சு கிடைக்கிறேன் வந்து எலன் மோஸ்ட் ஃபேவரட் கேரக்டர் பட் எடுக்க முடியல. நான் அடுத்த வாட்டி எடுத்துடலாம் ப்ரோ, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை ப்ரோ, பிரச்சனை இல்லை. என்ன எப்படி இன்னும் 4 மாசம் 5 மாசம் தான், அவ்வளோதான். 5 மாசத்துல வரப்போகுது இது. 5 மாசம் தான் வந்துடும். வேர்ல்டு எக்ஸ்ப்ளோரேஷன் இல்ல ப்ரோ, பண்ணல ப்ரோ. ஐடோ எதுக்கு எத்துன்னு வந்த? சும்மா எத்துன்னு வந்தா.
There's no need to stop another job. This is order.
ரூட்டா ஒரு ஆள் போகுதுயா.
No, my sword. Let me weave you a verse. Quietly now. Here comes the cash.
I will have order.
67k zombie.
Stabilize.
Witness the power of Puwa. No, my sword.
Joy. We've only just
Gotcha. Game's up. Come's over. It's over.
அடுத்து சரீரன்.
This is order.
Let me weave you a verse.
அதான் போடுங்க டேஞ்சோ.
No. See?
டேஞ்சோ ஆனா அந்த காலம் இப்பெல்லாம் டயரை வர சொல்லு, நான் முடிச்சு காட்டுறேன்.
I will
டயர்
have
இப்போ வர சொல்லு
order.
டேஞ்சோ, இப்போ முடிச்சு காட்டு.
Rain outlines your fate.
No escape.
Busted.
நான் முடிக்கிறேன் பாரு, அவ்வளோதான். ம் அப்படியா? இதுவா தானே? ஈஸியா பண்ணிடலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. when a character SP loss the character gains 6. ஓ முடிச்சு காட்டவா என்ஜிஓ? சொல்றியா அதெல்லாம்? முடிச்சு காட்டுற மாதிரி இப்போ. Good eye.
Time to broaden the horizons again.
Wait for my
150
signal.
seconds சொல்லலாம்.
Another test subject.
I see everything. Sharing my knowledge.
Dissipate. Witness the power of Puwa. Know my sword. Rain outlines. Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Committed to memory. Whoa! Yeah, this place hurt a little.
Our bond is strong.
Yeah, committed to memory. The Temple of
Another test
Wisdom.
subject. Suffocate.
Rain cutter. Know my sword.
என்னையா இது?
Fun's over. Get with me. Out of my way.
Grow, grow, grow. Committed to memory. Sharing my knowledge. Grow, grow.
என்னையா?
Power of Puwa.
Morgan,
Rain
huh?
outlines your fate. Things are about to get dicey. Dissipate.
சத்திஷ் कर नहीं था. என்னையா இது பாவத்தை?
Our bond is strong. Let me weave you a verse.
Committed to memory.
இது என்னடியா? இங்க ஏதோ ஒண்ணு குடுக்குறானுங்களே.
Grow,
இது என்னது?
grow, grow.
I'll settle this. No. Here comes the catch. Gotcha.
Let's play turn.
என்னையா வந்து
The
மூணே
Temple of
பேர் தான்.
Wisdom.
Witness the power for what? Huh?
Everyone hold hands.
Our bond is strong.
Oh, look at her. Yeah, committed to memory.
Things are about to get dicey.
Ouchie. Yeah, let's play turn a little. Yeah, committed to memory. Yeah, sharing my knowledge. Grow, grow, grow.
ஆட கொடுமையே என்ன மன்னர் பரபர ஐயோ இரியா
Stand with me.
இது நான் முடக்கிறேன் இதெல்லாம் ஒரு விஷயமா இரு முதல் வாட்டி பிசுறு தட்டிச்சு தாட்டி தட்டாது அல்ட்டே இல்லையா நீ 2 ரூபா வச்சு அடிக்க பாக்குற
I see
ஆமா
everything.
ஏன் அடிக்க முடியாதா
This way. Let me weave you a verse. Busted. Game's up. Time's over.
Let's play turn a little. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Rain cutter.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Suffocate.
Everyone hold hands.
Out of my way. Rain outlines your fate. Huh? Here comes the catch. Stand with me.
Grow, grow, grow.
Let me weave you a verse.
Committed to memory. Grow, grow, grow. Make yourself at home. Yeah, yeah. Hey,
This way. Rain outlines your... Things are about to get dicey.
Suffocate.
Gotcha. Witness the power of... Lightning shower!
committed to memory. Yeah. Sharing my knowledge.
வாயா ஆடிச்சு ப்ரோ வா ப்ரோ
Stand with me. Here comes the catch. Quietly now.
Grow, grow, grow. Yeah.
Let me weave you a verse. Our bond is strong.
Yeah. The Temple of
720
Wisdom.
ப்ரீமோஜன்ஸ் இருக்கு ராசா மாஸ் ப்ரோ
Game's up. Time's over. Out of my way. Stand with me. Rain cutter.
Everyone hold hands.
டேய் 22 செகண்ட்ஸ் முடிச்சிடலாமா டேய்
Grow, grow, grow.
ஆட கொடுமையை சரவணன்
Sharing my knowledge.
Things are about to get dicey. Rain outlines
ஆடா
your...
ஷேட்
Know my soul. Our bond is strong.
Committed to memory.
ப்ரோ முக்காவாசி முடிச்சிட்டோம் ப்ரோ என்ன ப்ரோ இது ஈவெண்டா அடப்போ ஆமா ப்ரோ என்ன ப்ரோ இது முடிக்க முடியல பாவத்தை 2 ரூபா வச்சே முடிக்க முடியல ஃபுல் ஹைட்ரு வச்சு முடிச்சிடலாமா அதை இது பவர் இல்லை ப்ரோ நம்ம எலன் வந்து பில்டட் இல்ல சும்மா டயர் இன் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் நேம் அதேதான்யா என்னையா கொடுமை இப்படி இருக்கு அதுல குடுக்குற எஃபெக்டை யூஸ் பண்ணு என்ன எஃபெக்ட் அங்க ஒண்ணு இருந்தது அது எடுக்கணுமே என்ன அது என்னது அது அதை எடுத்து அடிக்கலாமா ஒரு பந்து மாதிரி குடுக்குறானே அதை வச்சுக்கிட்டு என்ன பண்றது நமக்கு பேட்டில் லே அது எங்கிட்டயா போய் எடுக்கிறது? பேட்டில் செலக்ட் பண்ணு. சரி, ஸ்டெல்த் செலக்ட் டிஃபிகல்ட்டி. இதுல எங்க இருக்கு? இதுவா? ஓ, இன்க்ளூடு வெர்ஜன் அண்ட் ஹைப்பர். இதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி கேரக்டர் எடுத்துட்டு போனோம். ஓ, இது ஏத்த மாதிரி கேரக்டர் எடுத்துட்டு போகணுமாயா? ஆடா, இத முதல்ல சொல்லணும். நான் பாட்டு இது அப்ப இது ஈஸியா முறைக்கிடும்யா. நீ எங்க கேக்குற ஆடம்? ஈவெண்ட்ல இன்னும் 210 promotions from event welkin 10 days and daily 20 days 10 into 90 900. ஆஹா, 60 into 20 1200 spiral 600 plus 600 minus 10 issues, so total 10 fate. என்னையா இது ப்ரோ? ஆடா பாத்த 2 ரூபா தூக்கிட்டு போறியே. அத்தனை உண்மை ஆரிஸ் ப்ரோ. இத சேர்க்கலையா? கரண்ட் பிட்டி 40. எப்படி இருந்தாலும் நாவலிட்டி எடுத்துருவீங்க. அப்போ என்கிட்ட எவ்வளவு ப்ரீமோஸ் இருக்கு ப்ரோ? என்கிட்ட 580 இருக்கு ப்ரோ. 580 இருக்கு. மாஸ் காட்டிடலாம். டெய்லிஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன். இன்னும் கொஸ்ட் எல்லாம் இருக்கு. அதெல்லாம் முடிச்சாவே இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் கிடைக்கும். ஸோ நாவலிட்டி எடுத்துடலாம். ஃபேவரட் சப்ஜெக்ட் மேக்ஸா ப்ரோ உங்களுக்கு?
Take it easy.
ஹாரிஸ் அப்படியே ஃபிங்கர் டிப்ல இருக்கே ப்ரோ. எப்படி உங்களால மட்டும் முடியுது? எல்லாத்துக்கும் திறமை தான் ப்ரோ கேர். என்ஜிஓ பல என்ஜிஓ தொட்ட இடமெல்லாம் என்ஜிஓ. ஃபைட்டா ப்ரோ? இப்போ போடு சைல்டு ஃபைட்டு. ஊர்ல ஒரு பையன் ஆளங்க எல்லாம் ஸ்கூல் போயிருக்காங்க ப்ரோ. ஏய் ப்ரோ, நாவலிட்டி என்ட்ரியா? ஷோ டைமா? நாவலிட்டி என்ட்ரியா? ஏய் ப்ரோ, நாவலிட்டி என்ட்ரி. யார் இவன் எப்படி பாக்குறாங்க தலைவன்?
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kind of... you little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Excuse me. I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you.
Bro, now lady bro.
Like.
எனக்கு ஒரு டவுட். என்ன டவுட்? பைமன் தியேட்டருக்கு போனா டிக்கெட் எடுக்குமா? பைமன் தியேட்டருக்கு போனா எடுக்கும். அது ஒரு நாய் தான.
That's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So
பைமன் எடுக்கும். சீட்ல உட்காராது. பக்கத்துல தான் நிக்கும். பெட்டுன்னு சொல்லி பெட்டுலாம் உள்ள அலோடு இல்ல. ஆமா அலோடு இல்ல. பெட்டு உள்ள அலோடு இல்லன்னு குறஞ்சிரும்.
Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
ப்ரோ நாவலிட்டி மாசா இருக்கான்
So
ப்ரோ.
you're not friends with Linny?
ராஜா மாதிரி இருக்கான்ல நாவலிட்டி.
Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make our introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Vaudeille.
வா ப்ரோ கணேஷ் ப்ரோ வா ப்ரோ.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Teyvat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet?
அவனோட ஸ்டோரியில லோர்க்கு வெயிட்டிங். அப்படியா? ஸ்கேனர்.
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa!
நோவிலட்டின் கொடுமா நாவலிட்டின் கொடுமா.
Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
ஹைட்ரோன பாரு ப்ரோ எப்படி இருக்கு பாரு.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. She sure has a
Paimon
smug and
பாத்தீங்களா நெக்ல
satisfied look on her face.
Farina the Hydro
Sound right to her ass.
அப்படிந்து ப்ரோ. ஈவென்ட் முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா? ஆமா
Very good.
முடிச்சாச்சு ப்ரோ.
That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Farina Hydro Farina.
Huh? So is
என்ன
this what
இது?
things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
புரிங்க ப்ரோ. அந்த ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இது இருக்குமே அதானே இது. அந்த
The show is finally about to start.
ஸ்டாம் டெரர் டிராகன் கிட்ட இருக்குமே. ரெட் கலர்ல இருக்குமே ஸ்டார்டிங் கேம்ல. அது இங்க ப்ளூ கலர்ல இருக்கு ப்ரோ. Farina the Hydro. ஷோவா?
Oh, they're dimming the lights. The show must be starting.
நாவலிட்டி நடிப்பான். என்ன பைத்தியக்கார மாதிரி கத்தினே இருக்கறானுங்க அப்படி. ஆமா பாக்க அந்த ஷேப்ல தான்.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
சிரிச்சிட்டே இருக்குதுப்பா.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
என்ன கை தட்ட மாட்டாங்க?
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision
Show
holders
us,
who can
whoa.
freely manipulate
Ta-da,
elemental
oh,
powers
that's the show,
performing
ah.
magic is not true
Why
magic at all.
impact? Why?
So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have
Inne
nothing
achi,
to do
so many
with what you will
porra
witness on the
impact.
stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
என்னாச்சு ப்ரோ சோகமான மெசேஜ் போடுறீங்க?
Good point. That's what makes
Impact.
the show real
என்னாச்சு?
magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin.
Let the
Lynette
show
will now
begin.
exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming
I'm
right back
thinking
on
about
stage
why
momentarily.
Genshin fan community
Perhaps in
is
an
toxic.
unexpected...
Toxic-ஆ?
Oh, and before I
என்ன
forget,
ஆச்சு bro?
there's one more thing I should
ஆச்சு.
say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
என்ன bro cutscene-ஆ?
A magician's greatest skill is making things
Cutscene,
disappear
bro.
or appear. The possibilities are endless.
எப்படிடா? bro மச்சா பண்றாங்க bro.
But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky.
என்ன bro? பறவை எடுத்து விடுறான். என்ன?
Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right
Bravo.
before your very eyes.
சாட்டைக்குள்ள படியன் போட சொன்னா காடு பாய். I don't know. The traveler
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
என்ன bro? என்ன bro?
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi.
என்ன bro?
I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Dear. என்ன bro? எப்படி bro? வாமா நின்னு. எப்படியா? ஐடுவர்கள் சிரிக்குது. என்னடா பண்றீங்க? நல்லா இருக்கு bro இது. I only wish Genshin please don't hear the toxic fans. எப்படி bro பண்றாங்க? இப்ப கேட்பானுங்களோ?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin.
யாரு நாவலிட்டியா?
Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you inside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the fortress of Meripede.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
57, 56.
60, 59, 58.
57.
That's right, perfect. Keep it going.
56.
All right, I'll see you all
55.
on the other side once.
54.
53, 52.
Hey,
Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is.
Dora the Explorer மாதிரி பண்றானுங்க bro இவனுங்க.
Merely a consequence of my identity and personality.
உச்சியோட வீட்டுக்கு.
Just enjoy the show.
அட பாவத்தை bro.
You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39, 38.
37, 36,
Mr.
35.
Lenny, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
Paimon, the mangitu count 1 2.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like
Fountain
anyone's
going
worried
to be
about
like now like
25, 24, 23.
22, 21, 20.
What's wrong, Mr. Lenny? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19, 18,
17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Almost there now.
2.
Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7.
Hey, slow
6.
down! Honestly.
5 4 3
Whoops!
2
That doesn't count.
1 0 Dora the Explorer. என்ன bro இங்க வந்துட்டானா? ஹைட்ரோகன் சிரிக்குது பாருங்க. எப்பறா இங்க வந்தா? அந்த பொண்ணு எங்க? Genshin is fit for kids. அவன் he will die. என்ன bro? இங்க யார் வந்திருக்கா? அந்த இதுவா? ஆட்டோ போறானே. என்ன bro? என்ன bro? செத்துட்டான். அட லெனி. என்னடா செத்துட்டான்?
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh,
பாடங்க போறானே.
maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl is still in the
குரங்கு
box,
வித்தையா?
right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
பாறா.
Yes, that's right. If
என்ன
this
ஐடியா
was just an
இருக்கானே?
accident, then we must investigate the
ஐடியா
cause.
தான் இந்த பவர்
But
இருக்கணும்.
if this was
நான்
all
வேட்டி
part of
சொல்றேன்.
some scheme, then
சொன்னேன்
those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of justice.
என்ன bro?
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom
என்ன
of this
நம்ம
soon
டிராவலரை
enough.
முடக்குறானுங்க புடிச்சு. No spoilers.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His
Dead
name was
dog.
Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance.
என்ன bro இது?
And there are many indications that it is connected
இந்த
with the
இடத்துல
case of
ஹைட்ரோகன்
the
என்ன bro?
serial
இவன் எதுக்கு bro
disappearances
வரான்?
of young women.
பைத்தியக்காரன்.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
பாவத்தை.
Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced
ஆமா
challenge.
bro. புரினா பாவத்தை எதுக்கு தேவையில்லாம ஆக்சிடென்ட் நல்லா இருக்கும் தெரியும்.
Right. How come
நான் லேடி பேசினா நறுக்கு நாலு வார்த்தை பேசினா.
he was in the box on the stage the entire time? We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He could have
Vá, bro,
possibly
rhythm,
been
bro, vá, bro.
catching himself.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linny and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
Enna Furina, first impression pochu povumala.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
Furina lose bro. Adha
my dear people. But what excites me even more
enna bro
is truth before
ஐடி ஒர்க்கனே bro இப்படி காமிச்சிருக்கானுங்க ஒரு கெத்தா நாவலிட்டி எப்படி கெத்தா காமிச்சிருக்கானுங்க
That's right. I mean
அத விட்டு புரினாவே எப்படி பண்றாங்க டிடெக்டிவ் ராசா
Lenny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
என்னையா அது ஸ்ட்ரீம் லேப்ஸ் பாவத்தை
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Lenny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome.
Traveler மேல என்ன கோவம் இதுக்கு லேடி ஃபுரினாக்கு
Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And
எதுக்கு இப்படி அசிங்கப்படுத்துது
such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor
எதுக்கு இப்படி அசிங்கப்படுத்துதுன்ற previous idol was sister real idol ஆப்டா என்ன bro இது
She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order.
Bro, நான் இப்படி பார்த்தா நாவலிட்டி தான் ஐடி வர்க்கனா போட்டுக்கணும். புரினா ஒத்திக்கு குப்பையில போட்டுறணும்.
Putting her dramatic rhetoric aside.
பாவத்தை bro.
I would like to ask you. Are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
ராசா என்னையா? ஐடோ டிராகனா?
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the opera house. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth.
புரினாக்கு யார் ஆதரவு தரலையா?
Linney and his troop are all potential suspects and shall remain within the opera house. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time.
இது என்னடான்னா கிடுகிடுன்னு சிரிச்சிட்டு இருக்கு.
I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
என்னது இது ஐட்ரா இருக்காங்க. புரியுதா என்னது இது? என்னது இது? என்ன பழக்கம் புரியுதா? என்ன பழக்கம்? These are trick of Salam. எதுக்கு இப்படி பண்ற?
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's
left is why my favorite arcana is Nahida.
I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate.
Nahida master bro. Ivinga idol maratom. Adu appuram paapom.
Impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Enna detective baimana paavatha naai meri irukku paagathu.
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool.
Detective Paimon. ஒரு ஷோ கூட ஒழுங்கா நடத்த தெரியல மங்கிட்டு Lenny. ஆமாயா இது எதிர்பார்க்கல இருந்தாலும் அவன் தப்புதான் இருந்தாலும் அவன் எதிர்பார்க்கல நம்மளே அறியாம ஒரு தப்பு நடக்கணும்ல அந்த மாதிரி தப்பு கொடு அந்த பட்டாசு வெடிச்சு அந்த இதுவாயிருச்சு அவனை எதிர்பார்த்தானா பட்டாசு வெடிச்சு வெடியும்னு
It's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
First time magic show பண்றான் perfect-ஆ பண்ண வேண்டாமா
Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured, but if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks.
இந்த மேஜிக் வச்சு எவனோ ஏதோ தப்பு பண்றான் ஏதோ பெருசா ஊழல் பண்றான்
You can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
It's attempt to murder. அப்படியா யாரு அந்த பொண்ணு கொல்றதுக்கான பிளான் அது
Detective Paimon is
no spoilers yo
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see.
Play பண்ணி
You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh?
நானா லாயரா
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants named Cowell. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw, when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
என்னமா கொடுக்குறானுங்க ராசா லாயர் டிடெக்டிவ் பைமான்
So this is the broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
பங்கிட்டு காம்போ.
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
நாய் கொடுத்துருக்கலாம். அதுதான் பயமா இருக்கேன் நாய்.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes.
Special rope. Margalina?
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Container. Pura nahi dress. Aama yaar.
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person.
Aama yaar.
Her name is Holmes. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
நாவலேட்டி தான் இந்த மாதிரி இடத்துல நின்னு பார்த்துருக்கணும். நாவலேட்டி.
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of...
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case.
Police, what is my job?
Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
Contact us.
It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Lady Fury. The quantum beam.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
On the water kita poga aidu apply
had better write it down.
agana paapom attention aidu apply agana paapom enga bro aidu apply agana kuthikade unala ஆமா எப்படி நவுத்திட்டு வந்தான் அத ஒரே மர்ம புதிராவே இருக்கே ப்ரோ லெனி எப்படி அங்க நவுத்திட்டு வந்தான் அத வீடியோ சென்ட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க
investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, all right?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice, Lynette perhaps, jumping atop the water tank, and when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright.
Both of you, over here. I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
One time.
That's right.
Welcome, bro. Logan, bro. Bro.
You're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and
Yaar,
pursue
bro,
the truth. No. And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the moor about that one, but who are you?
Naviava. Dua.
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums.
Na bodyguard sa.
You name it. Spina di Rosula.
Video Marcia.
And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Navia Masagiyappa.
Though those who play by our rules.
Adan Navia edukkalam bro. Navia ku evlo fans.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Richa?
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay.
Okay, Navia.
So. Not the remembers
Patilia, enjoy. Ena Navian கூப்பிட சொல்லிருச்சு. நீங்களா மேடம் னு கூப்பிடுங்க. நான் மட்டும் Navian
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
நான் எடுத்துறோம் bro.
I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases.
அதான் ரேடியோ மிஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. Navian மிஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. Save பண்றேன். பண்ணு.
Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really?
4.4 Navia.
So too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Not like your savings are.
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever.
One Disha.
But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
எனக்கும் அதேதான் சொன்னுச்சு. உங்களுக்கு அதான் சொல்லுச்சா?
I must admit that she can be interesting.
இப்போ பாக்குறீங்களா? இப்போ வந்து just Navia எனக்கு மட்டும் தான் just Navia. உங்களுக்குலாம் மேடம் Navia. மேம். எல்லாம் அக்கான கூப்பிடுங்க. என்ஜோ மெயினா நீதான். ஒழுங்கா அக்கா இல்ல தங்கச்சின்னு கூப்பிடு.
But don't worry. You won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Navi akkan solliya neenu.
And why would that be? See, Silver and Malus?
Basa height work na Navia. Illa Arkan number addu. Arkan collection பண்றோம்னா எப்பவுமே Arkan தான். Arkan மொக்கையா இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல Arkan எடுக்கலாம். அதுக்கு அப்புறமா தான் Navia எல்லாம்.
Script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here.
Arkan மொக்கையா எடுத்துட்டு வர மாட்டாங்க bro. அந்த நம்பிக்கை இருக்கு bro.
Then if that can be done, boss, then
all right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors.
Pasa Arkan collection. Amma.
I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence.
Auntie
shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
எடுக்கணும்னா வெண்டி ஃபியூச்சர்ல தான் எடுக்கணும். இப்போ வர பேட்ச்ல எடுக்க முடியாது. வெண்டி எடுத்தனே ஹைட் வர்க் மறந்துட்டு போயிட வேண்டியதான்.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the conspiracy. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
இளநீ எடுக்கலனா எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஆனா ஹைட்ரோ அப்ளிகேஷன் தான் எனக்கு தேவைப்படுது.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks.
நாவி குட்டி. ப்ரோ இவன் யார் ப்ரோ? அப்பந்தே இங்க சுத்தினே இருக்கான்.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the opera house at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Lenny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
Video uploading பண்ணலையா? பண்ணனும்யா, பண்ணிரலாம்.
The girl couldn't have left from here, at least not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure?
4.1 ல 5.1 ல 4.1 ல கண்டிப்பா வந்துரும்.
Well, because I was in charge of security near the
4.1 ல கண்டிப்பா வெண்டி வரணும்.
I couldn't see Lenny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck, but still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it. Let alone if they had tried to leave.
Upload பண்ணு. லைவ்ல தானே எப்படியா அப்லோட் பண்ணுவ? மனசாட்சியெல்லாம் பேசாதயா.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. All right, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
எலனே எதுக்கு வேஸ்ட்னு? எலன் எடுத்து வேஸ்ட்னு தோணுதா? என்ன ப்ரோ நீங்க? வேஸ்ட்லாம் இல்ல ப்ரோ எலன். என்னையா let's go.
We checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Lenny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we?
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable.
No, come on, please.
I'd pull a rose.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived.
Hey, Navia.
Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel.
Naya, Spina di Rosula. Inna per, evlo peri peru.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there.
Inna bro, vara ella sirichite irukka.
I'm a partner of theirs and will be helping investigate this whole situation.
Navia sirichite irukku. Chuma 5.0 Yumiko coming. Genshin. Pyro அப்படியா?
And these are my companions. Would you mind
Pyro
if they join as well?
Pyro organ இப்பந்தே சேவ்.
Fine by me.
எஞ்சதே கேட்டு தூக்கு மாட்ட போய்டுவாப்ல. இப்பந்தே சேவா. ரைட் அப்படி.
I would be most grateful.
இப்பந்தே Pyro organ சேவ்.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
I don't have a good pyro place. Oh, அப்படி கூட்டாவில்லையா?
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
balloons and other decorations here? Where did...
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back?
In
the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Top star.
Right. You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
Top 3
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh,
That's
how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
MOMMY.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would.
How can I read them points?
But as you saw, cows in the box, not our audience.
I really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them
successfully read them to mommy for 10 points.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting.
Sound எதுவும் வரலையா சவுண்ட் பேக்கே அது பாவத்தை இது ஏன் வரலன்னு எனக்கு அப்படின்னா சவுண்ட் வரலையா இந்த இடத்துல சவுண்ட் வரணும் Did your mommy teach that? Did your mommy teach that? வரப்பிரசவமா பாவத்தை Diyoட வாய்ஸ் லைனே அது. Did your mommy teach you that?
The floor
Scam
is
பண்ணியா?
wet. Please be careful not to
நான்
slip.
ஸ்கேம் பண்ணேன். இப்போ டாப்னு போடு பாருங்க.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh.
47 ல இருந்து
Did the
37
trolley knock it
வந்துச்சு.
down while moving?
கிராஸ் பீடா.
That can't
10
be.
பாயிண்ட் போயிருச்சு.
Trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase
அந்த
at
இடத்துல
this
ஏன் சொல்ல மாட்டேங்குதுன்னு
distance.
தெரியல. இரு நான் அதை பார்த்து சொல்றேன். Did your mommy
Let's
teach you
note
that?
this down
Ninja?
too and
Did
think
your
about
mommy
it
teach you
later.
that? ஒருவேளை ஸ்ட்ரீம் லேப்ஸ்ல ஸ்ட்ரீம் பண்ணாதான் அது வருமோ? Dia.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Be aware of injury.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them? Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
Wow, the detective man. Young lady cloth. Navia. India. Enjoy, don't make community toxic. Enjoy என்ன பண்ணாரு? Enjoy உண்டு, enjoy குலத்தொழில் உண்டுதே அந்தாப்ல.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
Enjoy பாவத்தை.
There are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
Ventilation tank.
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Impact அந்த பாயிண்ட் வச்சு நம்ம என்ன ரீடம் பண்ணலாம்யா? நான் வாய்ஸ் லைன்ல ஆட் பண்ணல. வாய்ஸ் லைன் ஆட் பண்ணா அந்த பாயிண்ட் ட்விட்ச்ல வாங்கலாம் தெரியுமா? ட்விட்ச்ல வந்து கீழ வந்து ஒரு வாய்ஸ் பேக் இருக்கும். அத டவுன்லோட் பண்ண அத வந்து வாங்கணும்னா ஸ்ட்ரீம்ல அந்த வாய்ஸ் சொல்லும்.
They believe the odds of that are very low since the vent leads to the opera house's basement.
Bro, அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் பிரச்சனை இல்ல bro.
The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
அது ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம்னால அந்த வாய்ஸ் சொல்ல மாட்டேங்குது. அது என்னன்னு பார்க்கறேன்.
Become like a secret chamber then. You know.
நான் பார்த்துட்டு.
The plot thickens. Halsey's
சும்மா
disappearance.
டெஸ்ட் பண்றதுக்கு இப்போதான் நான் அதை ஆடே பண்ணேன்.
Both quite
சும்மா டெஸ்ட் பண்றதுக்கு போட்டேன்.
No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. all the...
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This too, then, finally, the oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? I want that novel.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial. Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxy. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case.
Bro, Primo Gems வாங்கலாம். Primo Gems.
It could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
Primo Gems வாங்க.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Our viewers. நீ நானே இம்பாக்ட் இந்த மூணு பேர் யாரு ஹேஷ்டேக் டாப்னு போறேன் இல்ல மெசேஜ் பண்ணாதான் பாயிண்ட் ஏறும் ஆமா மெசேஜ் பண்ணாதான் பாயிண்ட் ஏறும் மெசேஜ் பண்ணலாம் பாயிண்ட் ஏறும்
What do you mean no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
எங்க இருக்காரியா பாத்த
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
4 பேரு நாவியாவை ரகசியமா ரசிக்கிறாங்க யாரோ ஆமா
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
என்னையா அவனுக்கு கூட எக் சுகர்
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
டேய் என்ன நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு ஸ்நாக்ஸ்
We are quite the interesting group.
யார் வேணுங்க ஓடினடியா ஸ்டவ் பாத்திரம்லாம் எடுத்துறானுங்க ஆட பாயில தீனி மூட்டை போல இருக்கே நாவியா
Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process, but you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself.
நாவியா தீனி மூட்டை
Egg whites, grinding.
நாவியா ஓபி நாவியா தீனி மூட்டை
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
இவனுங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் பின்னாடி இருந்து அப்படி எல்லாத்தையும் ஸ்டவ் எல்லாம் தூக்கி பாக்கெட்ல போட்டு வரானுங்க ப்ரோ எப்படி ப்ரோ பைக்குள்ள போட்டு வரானுங்க ப்ரோ ஸ்டவ் இவளா
carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses and play the piano.
100%
really enjoy making snacks.
No more cat.
Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout.
இல்ல நான் தீனி பண்றேன் இங்க
just the right consistency or your macarons will crack.
ஆமா இவ்ளோ பிரச்சனை நடந்துங்குது
Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
டீ பிரேக்னா எப்படி இது என்ன இது
Well, each
eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
Best Navia.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit. No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
நாவி குட்டி வேணுமா ரேடு குட்டி வேணுமா நாவி குட்டியா ரேடு குட்டியா ஏன்னா ஒண்ணுதான்
From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons
ரெண்டு குட்டி எனக்கு தான் ஒரு குட்டி தான் ரெண்டு குட்டி தான் கிடையாது ரேடு அண்ட் சீட்டு வாயா பிரதீப் ப்ரோ வாயா
They are my specialty.
நாவி குட்டியா ரேடு குட்டியா
Oh, that can't be right.
Aiden can't cook. பாவத்தை எஞ்சி இல்ல ப்ரோ எஞ்சிய சமைச்சு பாப்பல ப்ரோ எஞ்சிய சமைய பாப்பல Aiden சமையனால எஞ்சிய சமைய பாப்பல
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் சேர்த்து தான் சேவிங்ஸ்
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
பிரதீப் ப்ரோ நேத்து ரீட் பண்ணாப்ல ரெண்டு வாட்டி பாவத்தை
Even you don't believe Paimon?
நாவியா இன்டிஃபேட் ஆட்டோ இன்ஃபேக்ட்
Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons. Then they
இஞ்சே நான் எடுக்கறேன் நாவியா சேர்த்து எடுக்கறேன் நான் எடுக்கறேன்
I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
Giova.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is
Gio character inga varudhu. மீண்டும் சாப்பாடா.
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go.
It's time to go.
I'll be back if I find anything new.
I like her personality too.
It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
எட்டு பத்துக்கு போவோம் Billy. Viewpoint. Live எப்போ bro? Liveல தான் bro இருக்கேன். Howling for நாய. நாவு குட்டி தான்.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, Farina understands.
அதான் டிஸ்கார்ட்ல எல்லாரும் கென்னே வாயா டிஸ்கார்ட்ல எல்லாருக்கும் போட்டுறணும்ல எவ்ரிஒன் கென் ப்ரோ ரொம்ப நாள் கழிச்சு வரீங்க எக்ஸ்ப்ளோரர் கின்னா ஆஹா
Finally you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence.
Eden mummy lang kadiyadu.
But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Ken bro, big fan.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
10 points குறையுது ஆமா அது யூஸ் பண்ண பார்த்தது குறையதா செய்யும்
Is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside
your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
Wait bro, chat more.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
Read them extra dana. Read them extra kadayadhu. Irukkiradhu povum.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Hey Navya. Navugutti.
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded. And aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has a... The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted. Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
காசு தருவியா காசா எதுக்கு சரி எதுக்கு எதை ரீடம் 10 points
Hey Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
child fight
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already
as
good as guilty.
Give me my point. Give me my point. Enna? Idha salladu.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say!
Maratram bro, novelty.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
ஏதாவது ரீடம் பண்றதுக்கு லிங்க் அனுப்புங்க. ரீடம் பண்ற லிங்க் அனுப்புமா என்னது bro?
Dear audience, let's allow the joy of
இதெல்லாம்
victory
செல்லாதா?
to sit for a little while longer.
சிரிக்குதேப்பா.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler.
Impact போடாதயா, போட்டா உன்னோட பாயிண்ட் போய்டும். போட்டா ரீடம் ஆயிடும்.
Sorry.
வேணா, அதுல ஏதோ glitch இருக்கு bro. இருக்கு.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I
எனக்கு மட்டும்
know
சொன்ன
you're angry and reasonably so.
உனக்கு போட்டு பார்க்க சொன்னையா
Please, I know you've clashed with the
நீ
Vitui
வந்தனே
several
ரீடம்
times
போட்ட
before.
ரீடு மாமீனு
I wouldn't be
மாமீனு
surprised
போடுன்னு
if
சொன்ன
just
தப்பா
hearing the word is enough to, but our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personality.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
ஸ்டோரிய பாரு எங்கிருந்து
That's right.
Story about.
I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Answer 10 points to
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask.
Think before act like Ethan. Scammer.
We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately?
No arkan question illa bro.
During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
மீண்டும் இது போட்டுக்கா ஃபட்டுவி இவன் சைல்டு வேற எப்போ வருவான்னு தெரியல. Nail baiting trial.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then,
if
everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced, and what he saw.
Nah, bro. எதை செலக்ட் பண்றது? துவா ஸ்கேன் எதையா செலக்ட் பண்றது? யார் யாரு? ஸ்கேன் குட்டி
Seems this won't produce a particularly...
Oh. என்னையா எதுமே என்னையா
According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Identify group.
Linney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth. Linney did not take...
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Evidence follow பாக்குற மாதிரி செலக்ட் பண்ணியா? பண்ணிட்டேன்.
When the countdown started, Linney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately.
ஏதோ வந்துச்சு கொடுத்தேன்.
The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again.
I am back. Welcome, bro. Shakti, bro.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine.
Partners of mine,
to turn things around.
You partners of mine, yeah?
Oh, well, your denial is very strident.
See my channel
I'll
description.
Give you that. But what proof do you have to back
Channel
your claims?
Aha. Something fishy இருக்கு.
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask?
Overnightல ஒபாமாவா? என்னது
You're
அது?
saying that he wasn't.
Overnight Obama. என்ன அது?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon thinks there's something off here.
கிடையாதா?
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played.
பாரு நாவியா. துடிக்கிறியே பாருங்க.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
என்ன?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the...
Correct.
That can't be right. The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
என்னையா அது? நம்ம தான் செலக்ட் பண்ணுவோம் பாவத்தை.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Linny select number.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey.
Incorrect.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the opera. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the... Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. No one entered or... The sound we heard may have... It would have been tough for both people. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Sun music. Ken bro, enna bro nenu full percentage explore பண்ணிட்டீங்க bro.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that. The sound we heard may have come... Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal... Halsey's clothing was... The deceased's name is... No one entered or left.
Incorrect, Bart. I didn't do incorrect. Bart. C4 Mona.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff.
And
here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you...
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which the sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the crypt. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. No one entered or left the... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Rasa, how many? 5 star?
It would have been
10
tough for
bro.
both.
10
The vase was not broken.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey Lynette escaped from the water,
f2p.
vanishing gradually and leaving... If
Ingi f2p da, Ken bro.
Just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This... Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
3 times only, yeah. Say that, bro.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs.
7 times
and he had an
utility
accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese. It is empty.
It's real time, bro.
The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean...
You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Parra.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues.
Exchange பண்ண போறீங்களா?
Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this.
Child இருப்பியா யாரியா?
It must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Reconnected criminals. பாவத்தை குறைஞ்சிருக்கோம் நேத்திக்கு.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As the deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant, he would have been able to tamper with the... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. I remember there was something else within the...
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. And having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant now, as much as I regret having come. Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end of the...
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like... seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move.
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was going to be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there, and I'd never been caught before.
But
I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief! Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Pradeep bro. Beach.
The strange sap.
Yo Rasa, awesome. Points illa bro. Pinne ellari nee kedukra bro nee.
The flower vape.
Loophole போறா பாரு.
Lillian was a...
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the group, her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowl out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the She knew worried that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So...
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Nah.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
One day I kill Paimon.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the...
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over.
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escape. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our...
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe if you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do...
styling. இன்னும் இருக்கா?
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting...
Ayaka, on the list,
What's wrong, my dear partner?
Navia, but traveler, but Navia, impersonation.
Are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now?
Navia, OP. Welcome, bro. Crazy, bro. Face cam, bro.
Given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydra.
I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I'm sorry. I might have been too...
Don't say that, Navia.
Pradeep, bro. Crush irukuma? Don't say that.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
It
was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Do we really need to get that formal? Guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
SK Bro channel 1.5k points.
You don't have to twist my arms, Arm. If Boss Navi is treating just like my name.
நான் கம்மியா வச்சது காரணம் இருக்கு bro. நிறைய கொடுத்துட்டீங்களா அப்ப கொச்ச
In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer?
அதுக்கு அப்புறம் ரொம்ப அதிகமா தெரியும் நம்பர் அதிகமா தெரியுமா அதனால ரீடம் பண்றதுக்கு நான் பாயிண்ட் எல்லாம் கம்மி பண்ணிடுறேன் கொஞ்சம் பாயிண்ட் வச்சுட்டே வாங்குறப்ப என்ன கொடுக்குறேன் அப்பதான் நல்லா இருக்கும் வாயா ஸ்லெக்ஸா வாயா அவ்வளவுதான் சைல்டு கொஸ்ட் அப்புறமா தான் முடியும் ஒரு கொஸ்ட் முடிச்சுட்டோம் கரெக்ட் தான் ப்ரோ அதனாலதான் நான் நிறைய கொடுக்கல கொச்சன்னு இருந்தா பார்க்க நல்லாவே இருக்காது கம்மியா பாயிண்ட் இருந்தாலும் அதை வச்சு எல்லாத்தையும் வாங்குற மாதிரி கொடுக்கும் அந்த மாதிரி தான் ஆக்ட் 2 இதோட முடிச்சிடும் நினைக்கிறேன் 2 ஆக்ட் தானே இதெல்லாம் சைல்டு அடி வாங்குவானா பாவத்தை பத்தொன்பது லைக் நைட் மாசம் 20 காடி 640 இவன் போலீஸா ப்ரோ நான் இங்க விளையாடுற பொம்மன் நினைச்சேன் ப்ரோ இவனை பாவத்தை அப்புறமா தான் தெரியுது இவன் போலீஸ் நான்
I see everything.
40யா போட்டா 21 பிரதீப் ப்ரோ மோசக்கார லைக்கே போடாம ரொம்ப வருத்தம் ஸ்லெக்ஸா பிஜிஎம்ஏ போடுவோமா அவ்வளோதான் முடிச்சிருவேன் இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரத்தில் ஸ்ட்ரீம் முடிச்சிருவேன் இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரத்தில் முடிச்சிருவேங்க அப்புறம் பிஜிஎம்ஏ ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் 5-10 நிமிஷம் ரெஸ்ட்டு அப்புறம் பிஜிஎம் பொம்மன் தான் ப்ரோ நினைச்சேன் பாவத்தை
Bond is strong. Witness the power of Gua.
Selecta.
Game's up. Busted.
This way, Colonel.
Stand with me.
என்ன பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் சேட் பண்ணாதான் ஏறும். ஆமா AR-59 இன்னும் ஒரு 6 மாசத்துல AR-59. அதே ஃப்ரம் கீபோர்டு வாட்சிங்க. ஆமா போன் வச்சுட்டு அப்படியே போயிட்டா பின்ன. சரி நான் போயிட்டேன். அப்போ இத சொல்லவே இல்லை கக்காஷி. ட்ரெயின் பண்ணமா நீதாயா FF ஏறுற, நாங்க யாரும் இங்க FF ஏறது இல்ல. சரி அப்ப நான் போயிட்டு மீண்டும் BGM சந்திப்போம். அப்போ போடு 20 பிமோஸ். போன் ஒரு 10 நிமிஷம் சார்ஜ் போட்டுறேன். 10 நிமிஷம் போட்டா 100 ஆயிடும். போகாத. அப்ப எப்படி BGM போன்ல வரது? நீ விளையாடுறியா வந்து? போகாது. போயிட்டு 10 நிமிஷத்துல வருமையா? 10 to 15 minutes. இதை கட் பண்றதுக்கே எப்படி இருந்தாலும் இன்னும் 6 ஆயிடும். எல்லாத்தையும் எடுத்து வச்சுட்டு அப்புறம் BGM ஒரு சார்ஜ் 10 நிமிஷம் போட்டா போதும் 100 வந்துடும். 36 சார்ஜ் போட்டாதான் விளையாடும். பார்த்த ஹேஷ்டேக் ஆசைக்கு லைவ்ல இருந்துட்டு எப்படி இன்னொரு லைவ் போறது? ஏன் 24/7 லைவ்? சரிதான். வரேன் போயிட்டு வந்துடுறேன். வீடியோ வேற அப்லோட் பண்ணணும். அதை வேற அப்லோட் பண்ணணும். எஞ்சும் 45 பாயிண்ட்ல இருக்கா அப்டேட்டா? சரி பை. போயிட்டு மீண்டும் சந்திப்போம் மக்களே. அதுவரை கழுகை போல் காத்திருக்குமாம், குக்கை போல் காத்திருங்க. ஸ்ட்ரீம் எண்டு. ஆமா ப்ரோ போயிட்டு வரேன். இன்னொரு 15 minutesல மறுபடியும் லைவ் போறேன். 6:20 போடுறேன். 9th place எக்ஸா பாவத்தை. சரி பை.